Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Today's episode is going to be a little different. I'll be gathering wood, working on the farm, and preparing for an adventure in the next episode. But while we're doing that, I wanted to share a bit about how I got into Minecraft. Because honestly, I wasn't exactly young when I started playing. I actually first heard about Minecraft from my son. He'd been playing since the early days and absolutely loved it. For years, he tried to talk me into playing with him, but I always figured I was too old, and honestly, I didn't think I'd be able to keep up. I'd never played a game like this before, and I didn't want to embarrass myself. But eventually, I gave in because I wanted to spend time with him. At first, I didn't even play. I just stood around and watched him do his thing. He would build a protective wall around me, and I'd look through the glass and watch him, afraid to even move. Eventually, I'd follow him through caves and watch him build, and honestly, half the time, I had no idea what was going on. When I finally decided to jump in and start playing myself, well, it wasn't pretty. Moving the camera felt impossible. I'd spin in circles, stare at the sky, or dig random holes at my feet instead of chopping wood. And we won't even talk about when I tried to climb a ladder. Just as I was finally starting to get the hang of things, my son moved on to other games and other interests. And there I was, still fumbling around, barely able to survive the first night. That's when I turned to YouTube. I started watching Let's Plays for guidance. And if you've been following this series, you know I've mentioned Paulsaurus Jr. before. His Survive and Thrive series was a lifesaver. He had this calm, step-by-step way of explaining things, and that's really what kept me going. Learning something new as an adult can feel uncomfortable. There's this feeling that you should already be good at things, or that it's too late to start. Like, if you didn't grow up with it, you're somehow behind and can't catch up. And honestly, that mindset can be pretty discouraging. But what I've realized, and what Minecraft really helped me see, is that learning isn't about being perfect or getting everything right the first time. It's about being willing to struggle a little, to feel awkward, and to push through that stage where you feel like you're just fumbling around. When I first started playing, there were so many moments where I wanted to quit, where I felt like I was just too old to pick it up. Moving the camera, using the mouse and keyboard at the same time, it felt like my brain just couldn't keep up. I'd see people on YouTube flying through builds, pulling off these amazing tips and tricks. And here I was still trying to figure out how to walk in a straight line or climb a ladder. But the funny thing is, once I stopped worrying about being good and just started focusing on learning, things got easier. I didn't need to be fast or perfect. I just needed to keep trying. Each time I survived a night without panicking, or managed to finish planting my wheat without trampling half of it, those little wins started adding up. And here's what surprised me most. Learning something new at my age didn't just make me better at Minecraft. It made me feel younger. There's something about stepping outside your comfort zone that wakes you up a little. You stop going through the motions and start paying closer attention, because when you're learning, everything feels fresh again. You know, when we're kids, everything's new, and that's part of why childhood feels so rich and exciting. But as adults, we don't get that experience as often. We fall into routines, we stick to what we know, and that's when things start to feel dull. But when you challenge yourself to learn something new, whether it's Minecraft, cooking, or even a new hobby, or making videos, it's like you're rewiring your brain to stay curious. Minecraft in particular has this way of encouraging that. It's not just a game. It's a constant process of figuring things out, experimenting and building something out of nothing. It's creative, but it's also logical. It's relaxing, but it's challenging too. There's always something new to learn, and for me, that's what kept me hooked. And the funny thing is, once I started playing, I felt more confident trying new things outside the game too. I'd catch myself thinking, hey, if I can survive a creeper or build a halfway decent starter house, maybe I can take on this other challenge in real life. It's easy to fall into the mindset that new things are for younger people, that you've missed your chance to pick up something like gaming or coding or making YouTube videos. But the truth is, learning something new isn't just possible when you're older. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. It keeps your mind sharp, it forces you to stay curious, it reminds you that you're capable, and honestly, it just keeps you feeling young. Not in the I'm pretending to be 20 again kind of way, but in the sense that you're still growing, still discovering, still alive. And that's what Minecraft gave me, this reminder that it's never too late to learn something new and that there's a lot of joy in figuring things out, one block at a time. I know I'm not the only one who's felt like that, like you're just too late to start or like you won't be able to keep up. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons I started this series. I wanted to create a space where people, especially those like me who didn't grow up gaming, could feel comfortable learning something new. If you're someone who's thought, I'm too old to get into gaming or I'm just not good at that kind of thing, I want you to know that you're not alone. I've been there, feeling overwhelmed, confused, and unsure if I'd ever get the hang of it. But the truth is, you can learn, and you don't have to do it alone. There's a whole community out there, people who are learning, exploring, and figuring things out together, whether it's sharing tips, building together, or just encouraging each other when things go wrong. Finding that community can make a huge difference. When I started watching Let's Plays, that's what kept me going. Seeing other people struggle, laugh at their mistakes, and eventually succeed made me realize that learning Minecraft wasn't just possible, it was fun. And more than that, it reminded me that no matter how old you are, you can still be a part of something new. So, if you're watching this and thinking, maybe I could give this a try, I say go for it. Start small, build a little house, plant some wheat. Don't worry about being fast or perfect. Just take it one block at a time. And if you need help, there's a whole world of people out there, myself included, who are more than happy to help you along the way. All right, that's enough reflection for today. Next episode, we're going on an adventure, heading out to find some spruce wood, and maybe a village if we're lucky. Thanks for spending time with me today. See you next time.